Do you have a competitor who literally stalks you on social media, and every post you put, they copy paste the same thing shamelessly and start posting it on their own wall as though it's their own creative work? If you have that problem, I have the similar problem, and I answer how I dealt with such a person in this week's episode of Get Real with Rajiv. So make sure you watch this week's episode to get a masaledar answer on how do you deal with a stalker on social media who's copying shamelessly without any consciousness. Apart from that, in this week's episode of Get Real with Rajiv, I'm also going to be talking to you about how do you handle the situation where your business is growing on autopilot mode and you don't know what to do. I have 4 specific options for you if your business is growing in autopilot mode as to what can be your next step. The third question that I'm going to be talking about in this week's episode of Get Real with Rajiv is how do you deal with the situation where you are relying on a manager while you are geographically moving to a whole new location? What do you need to do to manage your business when you're not going to be present in the same location where your business exists? And finally, I'm going to talk to you about how do you deal with the ego conflicts of your senior level staff. If it's affecting your operations, how do you put your foot down and make sure you handle that conflict in a manner where it's no longer costing your business? If you'd like answers to all these 4 questions, then tune into episode number 95 of Get Real with Rajiv. Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 95 of Get Real with Rajiv. Like every single week, we're going to be answering 4 questions, and today Pawan is going to be the voice of your questions. So Pawan, what's the first question?
Nikhil is asking how to continue the business in a new manager's hand when you're about to start living in another country in a month. How to develop the second line team without being there next to them.
Well, Nikhil, firstly, I would say is what you need is a solid management system. Now, let me give you my definition of a management system. For me, a management system is a system that you use to set goals in every department of your business. You use to track goals in every department of your business, and you use it to achieve goals in every department of your business. So it's very important as a business, whether you are looking at remote management or whether you are even available in office. You need a management system to set, track and achieve goals in every department of your business. Now, I teach this for a living. This is what I've been doing for the last 5 years. I teach entrepreneurs a system called as the PACE system. And in the PACE system specifically, there is another system which I use for reviews called the STOP system. Based on what you are asking me, Nikhil, your answer is available in the PACE system, and specifically the focus would be STOP system, which is a very powerful review mechanism that any business owner can use in their business, no matter where they are in the world, to be able to monitor the progress and to align their teams to the next level goals. So Nikhil, I won't be able to answer your question directly because the answer that you require is a lot more complex, which I answer over a course of 3 days. So drop me a message and explore attending the Business PACE program whenever it is happening next. And I promise you, you will find your answer in an exhaustive, detailed manner with proper templates and simple tools that you can deploy in your business, and you can manage your business from anywhere in the world. That's my promise to you, Nikhil. So reach out to me personally, just drop me a message. With that, let's go to the second question for this week's episode of Get Real with Rajiv. So Pawan, what's the second question?
Alps Nail Art is asking how to deal with any competitors who are spying or stalking our each and every marketing activities rigorously. Like whatever campaigns or activities I post on social media, she copies the very next moment. It is not something that can be controlled with copyright. I know we can't change the other person, so I've ignored for almost a year now. But now it feels irritating to see someone following me like a parchai, quite literally. Should I confront her or let her carry on?
Well, Alps Nail Art, this reminds me like Vikram and Betal. Every time Vikram would go through, Betal would be on Vikram's back, then tell a story and escape again. In your case, your Betal is not leaving you. Your Betal is following you all the time. You put one post, they take the same screenshot and shamelessly, without any creativity, post the same thing on their page. I understand that such a thing can get frustrating to an entrepreneur. I have been a victim. Between my wife and I, we have a joke. There are specifically 3 people who claim to be business coaches. I wouldn't dignify them by calling them business coaches, but they claim to be business coaches and they have zero creativity and all they do is copy paste. So I believe that ignoring is the best form. It's the most dignified form, because I'll tell you something about these people. They don't have a conscience and they definitely don't have any capability, because even if they had 250 grams of a conscience and if they had 500 grams of capability, they wouldn't copy paste shamelessly. These people believe that it's their right to copy. They believe that it's absolutely okay for them to copy. In fact, I've had people who've come to my training programs. We have pictures of them attending the training program, and then the next day they float a website and they shamelessly tell the world, build a business which can grow without you. And the world already knows that build a business which can grow without you is the brand tagline of Rajiv Talreja. But they don't even flinch and they copy the same thing and do the same thing in the market. I would say ignorance is the best way to deal with such people, because confronting such a person will not do anything for you or for them. But if you've reached that charam seema of frustration and you want to just release this frustration once, here's what I would ask you to do, which I actually did once. This is a confession I'm making. I actually called one of these business coaches who was copying the caption of our posts. Like literally what my team used to write as a caption, he would copy and put the same caption shamelessly. And I fished out his number because he's attended our training in the past, and I called him and I said, hey, so and so, you thought I'm going to name him? No, I won't give him that much dignity by naming him. He knows, he's probably watching this because he's probably copying even what content I'm going to share. And I said, hey, listen, I just want to reach out to you and tell you that I don't know if you're aware, but your social media team is copying the exact captions that we are posting and posting it without any thought. So I didn't want you to be cheated by your social media team, because they are making you look like a fool. And I was not making that up. I've literally had people sending me screenshots that this person is using the same caption as we are, and people are looking at him as an idiot. So I genuinely cared for him to not look like an idiot. But unfortunately, the idiot wanted to look like an idiot. And he was very well aware that he was being an idiot, but continued to be an idiot. So they say you can wake up a man who's sleeping, but you can't wake up a man who's pretending to sleep. I thought it was the wrongdoing of a social media team. And I said, look, they are making you look like an idiot. So reach out to them and tell them not to just copy paste captions. And he went on this complete praise mode saying, Rajiv sir, aap to hamare inspiration ho sir, galti ho gayi sir, maaf kar do sir. And it sounded like, okay, the guy is remorseful about his act. But I'll tell you something. A thief is a thief for life. It's in his genetics. The guy did not change. Till date, he continues to do the same shit. But at least now he knows that we know. But I don't want to dignify him by reaching out to him ever again. And I know that same person goes out there and one day teaches people build a business which can grow without you. Other day copies the content of Siddharth Rajsekhar and talks about becoming a trainer. Next day copies the content of Avi Arya and talks about building micro videos. And I'll tell you, all of us know that this person is the ultimate parchai we all have. He copies everything and he'll sell anything to make money. But what's unfortunate with such people is that neither do they make the money. They con a few people here and there, and people feel so cheated and shortchanged by them that we end up receiving messages saying this person did this with me and they sold me this and they're not even delivering. And such people don't last for long. So Alps Nail Art, just out of my experience, just bless that person, pray for that person, and grow stronger and faster. Because the more you grow, the more people will recognize that this person's just copying you, and that will just kill their copycat habit and kill their business practice. So go out there, growing more is the best solution, ignoring is the best solution. For the sake of releasing, reach out once, tell them that you are aware, don't blame them, ask them to change the course of what they are doing. If they have a conscience, they will listen to it. My experience, such people barely have a conscience, so they may not listen to it. So ignoring is the best thing. So I hope that gives you some sense of direction on how do you handle this situation. With that, let's go to the third question for this week's episode of Get Real with Rajiv. So Pawan, what's the third question?
The third question is from Madras Mavericks. We are into cafe shop retail outlet in Chennai. How to manage ego clash between two chefs? Both are very experienced with their special dishes, but they both are having ego clash, and because of this, it spoils the operations. How to solve this issue?
Well, Madras Mavericks, firstly, I would say understand what's the point of conflict. What is creating this conflict? Is the conflict getting created because one person interferes in the other person's work? Is the conflict getting created because both of them are struggling to find that significance and appreciation in your eyes as the owner? Is the conflict getting created because one person's getting paid more than the other person, but the other person believes I'm equally capable? Identify the point of conflict first, because the way to handle each one of these conflicts will be very, very different. Having said that, once you identify the point of conflict, the second step for you will be to confront the conflict. Make the both of them sit together and tell them that, hey, listen, your conflicts are costing the business. Your conflicts are even costing your experience at this workplace, and your conflicts are ruining your reputation with the rest of the team members. So get them to understand the cost of their conflict and draw a ground rule saying no blame game. You are not sitting there as an arbitrator. One of the biggest mistakes business owners make when they're trying to resolve conflict is they're sitting and playing the role of an arbitrator, where they're sitting and asking one person, what makes you feel this way? Then they're asking the other person, what makes you feel this way? What makes you behave this way? And then the business owner is playing the judge of who is right and who is wrong, who needs to change first and who needs to forgive first. You're not an arbitrator. You're not there to sit and play the role of a judge. You're not there to sit and even change their diapers. You need to tell them that no blame game, no, but he did this and then I did that, she said this, then I said that, no detailing, no going into what the drama was. Tell them, drop the blame game and show me a behavioral change like two mature adults who understand the cost of your behaviors on the business. And if you're not able to show that change, then drastic action needs to be taken on either of them. The best way to deal with bullies who are conflicting is to actually not be submissive, not sit and rationalize and go into logic of who did what, but is actually to kill the conflict with a no tolerance policy. You need to put your foot down and say, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore in my business. I don't want anybody to pollute my workplace with conflict. And if you're not going to set your ways right, then either you step up or you step out. You got to have a no tolerance approach to such kind of conflict at a senior level. That's when you will see that they themselves channelize their own capabilities and learn how to dissolve and resolve the conflict rather than continue this. The more you rationalize, the more you arbitrate, the more you listen to them, the more you are actually feeding their conflict, because they are busy proving to you they are right and the other person's wrong, and the other person saying I'm right, he's wrong, and you're sitting and logically trying to see who's right and who's wrong. You're only going to become a party to the conflict soon. Zero tolerance needs to be your method with such senior level people. I hope that makes sense, Madras Mavericks. With that, let's go to the fourth and final question for this week's episode of Get Real with Rajiv. So Pawan, what's the fourth question?
Radhakrishna's question is, what should I do after my business or businesses once they start running in 100% autopilot mode?
Well, Radhakrishna, if your business is running 100% on autopilot mode, here's what you need to do. You first need to stand in front of the mirror and kiss yourself. Kiss what you see in that mirror, because very few business owners reach that stage of building a business which is growing without them and the business is on autopilot mode. Now, once you are done celebrating with a nice little kiss and a pat on your back to yourself, then here are your options. Either you scale the same business geographically in different cities, different states, different countries. That's one option, scaling geographically. The other option is you grow the business through product diversification, which means that you start researching and creating new products and new services which are connected to your business, and you launch those new products and new services, and you build the teams and systems for that new products, new services to leverage your existing stand in the market. So scaling geographically is one option, product diversification is another option. Your third option, when your business is growing without you and it's on complete autopilot mode, is to actually explore mergers and acquisitions. Either you look at acquiring smaller businesses so you increase your market share, or you look at selling your company and merging with a larger business so you cash out in a big way from your business. So that's your third option. Your fourth option is to explore a totally new business. If you feel that exploring geographical expansion or product diversification or mergers and acquisition does not suit your existing business model, then this business is on autopilot. Go start another business, explore a new product, new service, a new market, a new segment, a new sector. Start from scratch, learn, scale, and that could be your fourth option. So Radhakrishna, these are your four options. Choose whichever resonates with you the most, whichever do you think does the maximum justice to all your efforts over these years. So with that, we come to the end of episode number 95 of Get Real with Rajiv. If you found value in this episode, then your next step is to continue the learning journey with me by attending my 4-hour training called the Business Breakthrough Seminar. The link is given below, and I'll tell you why you should register yourself for the 4-hour live training with me called the Business Breakthrough Seminar. Because at the Business Breakthrough Seminar, I focus on what are the 2 key changes you need to make for your business growth when it comes to your business model and your marketing. Then I break down for you 7 foundational activities to build a business which can grow without you, and I tell you what are those 3 things that you need to focus on to be able to build a business which can grow without you. And finally, I close the Business Breakthrough Seminar with a personal assessment so you can evaluate your approach as a business owner. If you'd like to learn all of these things, click on the link below, and I look forward to seeing you at the Business Breakthrough Seminar.